Would you like to understand why men are most attractive if they are in high demand and behave nobly? Then listen to this entire video where I explain the concept in depth and why it is the case. First of all, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about dating concepts, dating dynamics, self-development, and how to reduce suffering in life. Let's get into it. As I stated, I believe men who are in high demand and behave nobly are most attractive. Why is this the case? To explain this dynamic and tendency, I will use the following example. Let's say we have two different kind of men. Man number one has a high sex number because, well, he sleeps around a lot and he is therefore seen as in high demand by women. Now, this is a perceived derivation of a man's dating value based on his sex number, his sex count. So you'd assume, okay, because he's slept around a lot, that must mean he's in high demand by women. I've explained this dynamic in another video where I sort of explain the dating market and how people have a sort of dating value based on the demand and supply of themselves. So the demand for themselves and the supply of themselves. And I will link the video to that in the description if you'd like to watch it, where I explain the dating market dynamics. Okay, so this man is in high demand because he has a high sex count. Man number two now is also in high demand, but because many women surround him and are clearly interested in him as a potential partner. However, he voluntarily chooses not to sleep with any of them because he has high standards and protects his supply, so the supply of himself. He follows noble principles. Now, I hypothesize that the second man who doesn't sleep around a lot but is in high demand by women, is of higher dating market value than the first guy who just sleeps around a lot and is also in high demand. Why is this exactly? Because both men are clearly in high demand, but why is the man who behaves nobly of a higher value? I have two reasons. Reason number one, the second guy supplies himself far lower. The supply is small. Now, this is quite obvious in that, okay, so he's essentially harder to get. And at first sight, this might seem quite contradictory because I've made a previous argument in the video where I explained the dating dynamics of men and women, that a man who has a high sex count is of a high perceived value because he's clearly in high demand and able to get women, let's say. Now, how does he suddenly have a higher demand if he doesn't have a high sex count but is behaving nobly? Like, how is this the case? So, because his supply has decreased voluntarily, like he chooses not to sleep around, the game has become harder for women. The game in which the objective is to become, let's say, exclusive with the guy has become harder. And now the challenge to get the guy is greater. And humans have a tendency to want what they can't have. And this is a prime example of such a case. So, because he doesn't freely hand out himself, he is seen to be of a smaller supply, harder to get, therefore the challenge is greater and the game is more enticing for women, let's say. It's harder to get, to win, let's say. So that's the reason number one, because his supply is lower, means that he's harder to get. Reason number two, the man behaves nobly. Now, that's not enough. He can't just behave nobly, because you could have many sort of heavy beta males, soy boys, and losers who act nobly, but that doesn't mean they're in high demand. The key here is that he is attractive enough to many women and behaves nobly. The combination of the two is key. He must be attractive to many women, in high demand, and behave nobly. This combination is most valuable because it is also quite rare. But mainly, this combination is deadly because the man then represents a potential partner that is far closer to being optimal optimal than other men. And optimal in the case that he is best suited to be in a long-term relationship with and raise a family with. Now, if you're attractive to women, you're probably attractive to everybody else. And because if you look good, firstly, people generally want to be more associated with you. Like, people have a tendency to want to be around people that are more attractive. And you also have a good personality, and maybe you're intelligent. So those are reasons why many women might surround you, because you're attractive, you have a good personality, and maybe you're intelligent, let's say. That's a deadly combo. Hence, if you can assume that if someone is attractive to women, he's likely also to thrive in other aspects of life and obtain many resources, which is key and necessary to raising a healthy family. Because raising children is a very time consuming and resource consuming endeavor. Hence, you need access to resources, and being attractive on an aggregate level may be a good indication of somebody's ability to reap or obtain resources. Of course, if he's just attractive but not very intelligent, that's not a good predictor. But if he's attractive, intelligent, and has a good personality, he will probably be surrounded by even more, let's say, healthy women. And that, together with the combo of acting nobly, is excellent for a healthy partner and a father of one's kids, because behaving nobly is strongly rewarded, I believe, by the sort of laws of nature. Like, a synonym for that could be maybe karma. You know, if you do good, you get rewarded well. And so the combo of attractiveness based on demand and virtue trumps just simply having a high sex number. And it trumps all other characteristics in a man that could make a man attractive, I think, or as perceived in high demand. And a key assumption here that I'm making is that women, I believe, subconsciously are all seeking a long-term partner when they are dating, even if they are only consciously looking for casual sex. Thus, any man that represents sort of a person who is great for raising kids and being in a stable long-term relationship with is seriously attractive to women. And why are women so focused on finding a long-term partner? I think it is because, let's say it like this, if a woman on average doesn't get kids, I think she might regret it later on in life. You know, if you're alone then, and you have maybe not even a partner, you're all alone, you're lonely, you may have, I think women might feel on average, I need to be careful here with what I say, but I'm assuming it might be the case that they feel like they had given up an opportunity that they regret they didn't take. They wish they would have had kids, because it's almost like an instinctual thing in a healthy woman to want to have kids, I think. Hence, women are sort of set out, subconsciously have a mindset that they would like to raise kids, because it's like, I mean, that's what humans are made to do in sort of like the evolutionary perspective, that they want to, humans as a species wants to propagate itself and populate its genes. Hence, it needs to, like, every human needs to find a mate in order for that to occur, because, you know, you can't have kids by yourself, believe it or not. And in order to find the right partner, women need to find somebody who is stable and will stick around, because raising kids is a very time-consuming, energy-consuming, resource-consuming endeavor, and doing that alone is very difficult, and it's difficult to raise healthy kids alone as a single mother, I think. It's far more optimal to do it with a healthy partner. Hence, they are always on the lookout subconsciously for a partner, and they need to be very discriminative of their partner, because, like, you need to get it right. Like, a guy can just clear off, essentially, if the relationship is not how he wants it. But if a woman has kids, the commitment is far higher, and what is at stake is a lot higher also for a woman. Hence, she needs to be far more discriminative of her partner than a man needs to be necessarily. Hence, she is subconsciously on the lookout for a good guy, and determines partners based on their ability to be a long-term stable partner, not on if they are fun for casual sex. And that's very important. So, sorry, this is quite a ramble. I just went off, sort of a bit of a tangent, but it was still relevant. So in conclusion, Men who behave nobly and are perceived as attractive because of their high demand are of a highest level of attractiveness to women because of their low demand, their low supply, hence they are harder to get, and because combining attractiveness and nobility is a deadly combo because it determines, to a degree, might indicate how well a man can stick around and raise a healthy family and maintain a healthy relationship with a woman. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to learn more about dating dynamics, what makes people attractive, for example, like this video, self-development, and how to reduce suffering in life. Okay guys, that was it. Thank you for listening.